You are watching part 8 of the full series of Java Spring Boot interview questions. These are the 5 questions we are going to discuss in this session. What is the purpose of the model attribute annotation in Spring Boot? Explain the concept of reactive messaging with Spring Boot and Apache Kafka streams. Describe the purpose and usage of the transactional Propagation.NESTED annotation. What is the purpose of the data JPA test annotation in Spring Boot testing? Describe the purpose and usage of the Spring Boot admin server for monitoring and managing applications. First question, what is the purpose of the model attribute annotation in Spring Boot? The model attribute annotation is used in Spring Boot to bind request parameters or form data to method parameters or model attributes. It can be applied to method parameters or method return values. When applied to method parameters, the model attribute annotation binds the incoming request parameters or form data to the corresponding method parameters. When applied to method return values, it binds the method's return value to a model attribute, making it available in the view for rendering. Second question, explain the concept of reactive messaging with Spring Boot and Apache Kafka streams. Reactive messaging with Spring Boot and Apache Kafka streams enables the building of real-time streaming applications that react to events and reactively process data streams. Spring Cloud Stream provides abstractions to integrate Spring Boot applications with Kafka streams. With stream listener annotations, you can consume Kafka topics as reactive streams and perform processing operations using the reactive programming model. This approach facilitates the development of scalable and resilient streaming applications. Third question, describe the purpose and usage of the transactional Propagation.NESTED annotation. The transactional Propagation.NESTED annotation is used to define a nested transactional scope in a Spring Boot application. When a method is annotated with this annotation, a nested transaction is created within the current transaction. The nested transaction behaves as an independent transaction and can be rolled back separately from the outer transaction. If the nested transaction fails, only the changes made within the nested transaction are rolled back, while the outer transaction remains unaffected. Next question, what is the purpose of the data JPA test annotation in Spring Boot testing? The data JPA test annotation is used to configure and customize the testing environment for JPA repositories in a Spring Boot application. When applied to a test class, it sets up an in-memory database, configures Spring Data JPA, and loads only the necessary components for testing JPA repositories. A data JPA test provides a lightweight and isolated environment for testing JPA-related functionality without requiring a full application context or a real database connection. Next question, describe the purpose and usage of the Spring Boot admin server for monitoring and managing applications. The Spring Boot admin server is a tool that provides a web-based interface for monitoring and managing multiple Spring Boot applications in a centralized manner. It collects and displays various metrics, health statuses, and other information about the registered Spring Boot applications. The admin server allows you to view and manage application details, monitor JVM metrics, and receive alerts on specific conditions. It simplifies the monitoring and management of Spring Boot applications in a production environment. Hope you have learned something and feel confident to answer the questions we discussed so far. Here is the list of questions that will be discussed in the next session. Please check out our playlist for more questions and subscribe our channel for updates and notifications. Good luck for your upcoming interviews.